Robin Hood has a Spectrum game. Robin Hood, I bet it's bloody lame. Should he play Robin of Sherwood? Is it actually good? Yes, it's good. Yes, it's good. Yes, it's good. What wonderful singing to start off the episode. And if you're still with us, somehow, unbelievably, let's now talk about Robin of Sherwood. Robin of Sherwood first launched from its quiver in 1984 on ITV, and it looted its last lord on the 28th of June 1986. It was a departure from the previous iterations of the character, with the thigh-slapping frivolity and derring-do of the Errol Flynn era eschewed to have a grittier feeling. Elements from history, as in real-life history, not just Robin Hood fake history, were incorporated into the storyline, and they were blended with a lot of pagan mythology to create a very distinct version of Robin Hood. The mystical feel of the show was given an extra ethereal edge by the haunting folk ditty Robin the Hooded Man by Clannad. Handsome devil Michael Praed led a strong cast for the first 2 seasons as Robin of Locksley, with Jason Connery's Robin of Huntington taking over rich person wealth transferal after Locksley gets gunned down by a load of old dudes. Gunned? I surely mean crossbowed. The reason for this murdering of Robin and replacing him with another Robin was because he wanted to tread the boards as D'Artagnan in a stage play, did old Michael Praed. So the canny showrunners airdropped in an entirely new Robin, who just so happens to be the son of everyone's favourite Bond and probable wife-beater. Yes, I'm talking about Sean Connery. I don't think Roger Moore will ever beat anyone up. Well, not real people anyway. Television production company Goldcrest ran into financial difficulties, and the series finished at the end of its 3rd run. Plans were made to make a movie in the early 90s to tie up all the loose ends, but sadly 2 big Robin Hood movies were slated to appear in 1991, which put the kibosh under that production and its meagre budget. Damn you, Costner, and your mullet and your bloody Bryan Adams song. But you know what, Patrick Bergin? You're okay, no one remembers your film at all. Adventure International released a computer game based on Robin of Sherwood in 1985, and true to their name, they specialise in text adventures. Now stop right there, Sonny. You can just sit there and look at this text adventure game that I'm doing a video on. You can stay for like all the bloody Miami Vice games and all the bloody graphical adventures and all those lovely games like that, but you're not just sodding off just because there's a bit of text on the screen. Sit right there. It's called an imagination. I'm sure you can pretend that you live in Sherwood circa 1186, you sod. Use your blooming imagination for once. Adventure International were probably the most polished of the text adventure game producers, and other than Robin of Sherwood, they also put out a trio of Marvel superhero games, Gremlins, a game based on the obscure cult classic movie Buckaroo Banzai, and another based on Super Gran of all things. Is this Super Gran game better than the Super Gran game that I've played before? Yes, of course it is. Of course it is. Getting bummed by a flock of hippos over 8 harrowing weeks is better than that other Super Gran game. It's terrible. The game starts with Captain Arrow's McSocialist in a right pickle with a pair of chums. They've been locked up in the oubliette in the castle grounds of Nottingham. Do you want to know what an oubliette is? Go and look it up. Once the trio have skidooshed out of the clink using wits and agility, they meet with the mysterious Herne the Hunter, who claims to be the god of trees. Wouldn't the god of trees be a tree, not a species a few evolutionary steps away from wanking on one of its branches while sitting on its bare arse? Anyway, this Herne the Hunter declares that Robin is the hooded man who needs to put an end to the likes of Guy of Gisborne and the Sheriff of Nottingham, so that the Albion can be free of tyranny until King Richard comes back from slaughtering Johnny Foreigner whilst hunting for a magic cup that will give him eternal life. We all know he doesn't find it because Indiana Jones found it, didn't he? Herne the hunter tells Robin that if he's got a spare 5 minutes, could he be a right dear and possibly go and capture the 6 touchstones of Rhiannon and put them in a stone circle so that some good magic can happen and alleviate some of Britain's woes. Those ruddy Norman oppressors won't be expecting a magic Fleetwood Mac song, will they? That's Rhiannon. Do you know the song Rhiannon? You do if you're old like me. The graphics on display here are pretty impressive. Yes, for the most part they're still, but can you show me a better animated waterfall on a 48K? Go on, show me. Tell me in the comments if you know of a better animated waterfall in the 48K. Go on, that's my challenge. The artwork is consistently good throughout, with many pictorial spectrum wonders from all corners of Sherwood Forest and the surrounding areas of Nottingham. Look, that saucy maid Marion is in bed, no doubt waiting to be laid Marion. Go on, Loxley, show her the shaft of your purple-headed flesh arrow. The big issue I always struggle with when playing a text adventure game is that us humans are quite a bit smarter than a 48K. Well, for the most part anyway, and the software itself has a rather restricted lexicon. It was certainly an issue I had with both the Masters of the Universe and the Thompson Twins games way back when. Unlike most adventure games, it won't even tell you if it doesn't know a particular word. It will just ignore you like Friar Tuck and Little John when there's a pie around. Your only clue really will be when something changes in the top half of the screen. You also have to make sure that you do the tasks in a certain order. If you don't do things in a certain order, you're almost certainly going to end up bleeding to death all over your lovely fetching tunic. You must, for instance, make sure you have won the silver arrows from the sheriff's corrupt tournament before you go rescuing the missus from creepy date rape wizard Simon de Bellamy. It's very easy to get lost in the lush and verdant forest and the surrounding countryside, but really, I should stop moaning. This game is pretty darn good. It has a level of polish that many of its contemporaries just did not have. Not only that, but the key set pieces from the Robin Hood story are replicated throughout the adventure, giving the game that rarest of things in a Spectrum game based on a TV show. A real respect shown to the source material. Yes, it's challenging. Yes, you won't finish it on your first go, but there's enough here to keep you coming back. It was an enormously pleasant surprise to find that Robin of Sherwood was not only a pretty good game, but a highly respectable piece of software indeed. I'm almost looking forward to playing the Adventure International version of Super Gran. Almost. The magazines weren't holding back the plaudits for the medieval Hawkeye wannabe either. CMVG gave it a solid 8 out of 10 and called it a competent and clean adventure game. Sinclair user said that they thoroughly recommended Robin of Sherwood to all potential freedom fighters. They gave it a 5 out of 5. High praise indeed. Crash awarded it a crash smash, a 9 out of 10, and declared it, unlike many other TV tie-ins, as a superb implementation of the original. Well, there you go, lordy me. Have we actually got a decent game? We do. And not only that, we've got 3 very good games in the next episode, because we're going to seek out the Dark Knight detective himself for a little play with his Batarang. Like, subscribe, and K thanks bye.